the face of mounting criticism for their reaction to the massacre at Robb Elementary School, the Uvalde Police Department recently did a press conference. And look, there were a lot of things that were said. You had a timeline of events that had happened. And so this officer, Stephen McCraw, is actually the director of the Texas Department of Public Safety. So he's going to go through these things, and he's going to drop some information that I believe is there to deflect blame away from the police and actually towards the teachers. So let me give you that quick clip here, and then we'll discuss.
Suspected of where we knew the shooter entered, or almost, was propped open by a teacher. 11:28, the suspect vehicle crashes into the ditch, as previously described. The teacher runs to the room 132 to retrieve a phone, and that same teacher walks back to the exit door, and door remains propped open.
All right, so now look, you might be like, okay, maybe he's just going through the events, just noting that there's a door that's propped open, that allowed the shooter inside. Oh, okay, but here's the thing. So look, police press conferences, they're not just dropping flippant information for no reason. No, I think you're very, very careful about what information they release and what information that they talk about, that they present to the public. And so when I watched that, and he talks about this door, oh, it's propped open. It's propped open. The teacher left it open so that the guy could get inside. Well, that right there, bit of a red flag, okay? To me, it sounds like that he was absolutely blaming the teacher for leaving that door open. Oh, had the door not been open, the shooter wouldn't have gotten inside. Well, okay, but you can shoot through doors, you can shoot through windows with this AR-15, unless they're bulletproof. So I don't really know what other reason he would say that in this press conference that would bring up that very specific point. So for me, again, it sounds like they're saying, the damn woke Marxist teachers messing up again, letting that guy in. It's a real shame that these teachers are not actually there to defend themselves. You see, they're dead. They were killed. She was a victim. Both of them were. This seems incredibly ghoulish. Look, and by the way, according to surviving witness named Mia, the gunman shot out the window. Now, this is at the classroom. And so, look, maybe they're talking about the back exit. Okay? That back exit that he entered the building. Or maybe in the classroom. So she was talking about the classroom here. So now she said that the gunman had shot out the window as the teacher was attempting to secure the door after getting a text that there was an active shooter situation. He shot through the glass, entered into the room, and shot her. Now, by the way, that same shooter had been outside shooting out windows for 12 minutes, unimpeded. Unimpeded. Where was the security guard? Where's the school resource officer? Oh, right. He drove right by the active shooter that was shooting out the windows and chasing after a teacher. That's what would happen. It's what actually happened. So, look, what they're doing is, from what I can see, they're smearing a dead teacher who can't defend herself. And then again, that does not explain at all why the cops waited for a very, very long time, over an hour, before actually going in and preventing Border Patrol from actually going into the building. According to officials, the gunman had arrived at the school at about 11:28 a.m. and was firing for about 12 minutes into the school windows. At the same time, the school district police officer, again, drove right by in pursuit of someone else he thought was the suspect, but was a teacher, according to officials. But it gets worse. Over the next 78 minutes, More than half a dozen heroin calls were made to 911, at least 2 from students describing unfolding carnage inside classrooms and begging for police. And as many as 19 police officers were gathered in the school's hallway shortly after noon, but Mr. McCraw said that they made no effort to breach the classroom door. The chief of police of the school district, who was the incident commander, also told Border Patrol agents, along with other law enforcement, that arrived to hold back from engaging the gunman. Mr. McCraw said, apparently believing the suspect had barricaded himself in the classroom and there were no children at risk. Well, now, look, he shot out the window and locked the door? They couldn't engage? They couldn't do that if there were 19 of them stacked outside the door and they couldn't do that? One 911 caller said at 12:16 p.m. that 8 or 9 students were still alive in one of the classrooms. It's unclear how many of those were killed before police finally breached the door about 40 minutes later, after having gotten a key from a janitor. No children at risk, they said. No children at risk. I remind you that we had reports where police were outside these classrooms and told children to yell if they needed help. One did, and then was murdered, while the cops sat and waited outside. This whole thing just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Asked what he would say to the parents, Mr. McCraw's response was a mix of defiance and resignation, saying this: what do I say to the parents? I don't have anything to say to the parents other than what happened. We are not here to defend what happened. We are here to report the facts. If I thought it would help, I would apologize. Now, the reason that you're not there to defend what happened is because the facts are indefensible. What you did was indefensible. Or I should say what you didn't do, which is what you were supposed to do. These police officers, they put their own safety and their own well-being, and by the way, the well-being of their own kids, above everyone else, above the other kids there. Absolute cowards trying to blame a teacher who can't defend herself, who died protecting her students. And again, Uvalde Police Department gets 40% of the budget. How much of the budget did the teachers get? Did the students, did the schools get? How much of that budget goes to schools? How much do the teachers get paid compared to the police officers? How much? I see 100 times more bravery in students than I did the cops here.